And welcome guys, this is Hardcore Casual Gaming here, and I thought I'd do an in-depth deck profile of my rank 10 train spam deck. It's a lot of fun to play. Some cards are still OCG exclusive and or European exclusive, so I cannot wait until these cards actually come to the official TCG list and this deck becomes actually playable, because there's one card that really makes this deck good. And that card has to be number 81. That's such a long name. Number 81 Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Super Dora, or Superior Dora. And of course, it is a number monster, so it will eventually come to the TCG. I just know it, because you know they wouldn't want to upset those number collectors. Shout out to my boy Nick. So, anyways. Onto the deck profile. What this deck wants to do is it wants to like spam out these guys as fast as possible, like kill your opponent with these cheeky monsters. So, starting off, we run 2 Malefic Cyber End Dragon. It's really good since we run 6 field spells in this deck, and we pretty much either use him as a 4K beat stick for game, or we use him as an overlay material for one of our rank 10s. He's really good for that reason, because he's a special summon, and he's really easy to summon in the deck, because you have an overwhelmingly chance to have a field spell on your board, because we run triple terraforming. You know, we'll get to that in a bit. I had a brain fart. Tongue-yo. Tongue-yo. Then we play a playset of Night Express Knight. This is the card that I mentioned that it is illegal in the European TCG. Kind of like how Diamond Crab King was only legal in the United States but not in Europe. This is pretty much the equivalent to that, but it's legal in Europe but not in the United States. It's weird because it got printed as a promotional card, and that promotional card that came with the game did not release in the United States. It's a whole weird situation. But yeah, the deck needs to run 3 of these and 3 of the Heavy Freight Train Duracane. If this deck does not have these 2 options, I mean, you can run the deck with just these, but it's awful. If this deck does not have these 2 options, then deck's unplayable, because this guy can normal summon himself, but his attack becomes 0. And whenever you summon a train or a machine, I believe it's a machine, Earth machine type monster, no more special summon to your side of the field. You can special summon this card from your hand, but its original attack and defense is halved, which is not a big deal since you're just going to use it as an overlay unit. And its other effect is when you detach this card, or when I think it's just sent to the graveyard. Oh no, detach as an XE material to activate an effect of the XE monster, and is sent to the graveyard. So it's kind of conditional, but it's really easy to pull off of the deck. You can pop a card, and it's pretty good in conjunction with some other cards that we have. Then we play Medion, the Time Lord. He's actually really good because not only you can just normal summon him, but you can also he's also cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects, and you don't take damage involving this card. And then he pretty much bounces a monster. So he pretty much bounces like your opponent's monster to your hand, to the hand, which is really good. But we only really run him because he's a normal summonable level 10, which is great in the deck. Then we run 2 Exodius. Exodius lets you it can special summon from your hand as long as you have monsters in your graveyard. Its summoning condition is you shuffle back all of your monsters from your graveyard into the deck to special summon them, and of course he's a level 10, which makes him really good. And that's the only really thing that you use him to use in the deck. If you're running him in an Exodia deck, you'd have to run the Exodia pieces, but we're not doing that. We're only using his effect to recycle our cards and to special summon him. Then we play the 2 Tragodia. Tragodia is really good. It's a battle trap, and we don't use his effect to steal opponent's monsters, but he's a battle trap. He works just like Gore's, and He's also a level 10, so you can go into some rank. Pretty much the whole concept here is you got to get to your rank 10s like super fast. But then for the last monster, we play 3 Ruffian Railcar. This card is amazing. Once per turn, you can inflict 500 damage to your opponent. You cannot conduct your battle phase this turn to activate the effect. That's kind of mediocre. But during the end phase, if this card is sent to your graveyard because it is in your grave because it was sent there this turn, so no matter how it ends up in the graveyard, its effect can still go off. During the end phase, you can add 1 level 10 Earth Machine type monster from your deck to your hand, and you can only use it once per turn. That card is amazing. So that's one of your searchers. People play builds where they want to get this card into the graveyard, but having Mathematician go to 1 and Call the Haunted only going to 1, or is that being at 1, it kind of makes it hard to do that. But there's a way to actually get this card in the graveyard no matter what. Well, you can just set it and let it die, but there's other ways you can get it in the graveyard. So onto the spells. The spells are pretty much just used for consistency. We play 3 Upstart Goblins standard. We play 3 Terraforming, Caesar's field spell. Special Schedule is this card's really good. It's also one of those European legal cards. It says target 1 machine type monster with 3,000 attack or more in your graveyard, which is obviously going to be your Night Express Knight. And then special summon that card in face up defense position. You can only activate once per turn. And if this set card is popped and sent to the graveyard, target 1 level 10 machine type monster in your graveyard. Add that target to your hand. You only really want to use this card if you're gonna, or for that effect, if you're running the if you're running another card that acts like Tragodia, but is a lot more conditional. And for that reason alone, I don't play him because he's not as good, and it pops your own cards. Honestly, Tragodia is much better. But then we play 3 Chicken Game when there's some cheeky combos with Terraforming and Chicken Game. You know, lets you draw one, and then and if your opponent's stupid, they'll just go, oh, attack, oh, I got Chicken Game, you can't win. Oh, I got wrecked, outscored, outplayed. Then we play the last spell card. We play 3 Revolving Switchyard. Again, this is another card that makes the deck very playable. Ruffian Railcar is already out to the TCG though, so this deck could run without the Revolving Switchyard, but it'd be very hindered. So, if a level 10 machine type monster is normal summoned or special summoned to your side of the field, except during the damage steps, you can special summon 1 level 4 Earth machine type monster with 18,000 or more attack from your deck. And if you do, its level becomes 10. So, your target for that is Ruffian Railcar, and there's some other cheeky little trains that you can go for as well, such as Lionheart Locomotive, but this card's just way better. So you can, and then you pretty much use that as a rank material, and then you get a search off the card if you detach it that turn, and like, you know, it's really good. And then your opponent does not take any battle damage for this turn. But that doesn't say anything about effect damage, so you can just go for like Triple Goose Styles Max and be like GG. Then its other effect is that you can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, preferably Ruffian Railcar, and then add 1 level 10 Earth Machine type monster from your hand to the deck. So it's a searcher, really good searcher. And then you can only activate that effect once per turn. But at the end phase, if you send this to the graveyard, you get another search. So it's 2 searches for the price of 1. So it's I sound like Billy Mays here. So it's really good. Then we play 3 Reckless Greed. The deck needs a bit more consistency. Then we play 3 Metal Reflect Sign. He's really good. He is actually, you can actually use him as an executing material because the fact that he's a level 10 and he's very versatile because he's also a 3,000 ass. So if you don't want to get ran over in a turn, you just activate him, block some attacks, and then next turn you overlay with him. It is really good. And people will argue with me that you can't overlay with traps. Nah, man, it works. Trust me on this one. So then the last trap we'll play is Call the Haunted. Call the Haunted is really broken, to be honest. Other than the fact that you can bring back your level 10s and like, you know, for more exceed plays, if you target this in your graveyard, Night Express Knight, he'll be at 3,000 attack when you summon him. It's pretty funny, because when you normal summon him, his attack becomes 0. But if you special summon him out of the graveyard with Call on the Haunted, his attack becomes 3,000. So he can become like another wall, another way to stop your opponent from attacking, and/or that you need that like one card to push for game. Then on to the Exceeds. I know many people don't really know these cards, so I'll be going through them thoroughly. First we play Triple Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. He's really good, and you need to run 3. Once per turn, you can detach 1 XE material from this card, inflict 2,000 damage to your opponent. Wow, broken, right? And he has a 3,000 attack, so you can potentially do 5,000 damage with this card if your opponent has no blocks or no cards to on board. Which will be easy to do since you can pop their monsters with Heavy Freight Train Durricane during their turn, and then you play Triple Number 81 Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Superior Dora, and it also requires 2 level 10 monsters. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach 1 XE material from this card, then target 1 face-up monster on the field. This turn, it's unaffected by other card effects. Wow, Felgrand confirmed, but level 10 for level 10. Really good. Felgrand's good, so this card's freaking even better because it has a 4,000 S and 32,000 attack. So, holy crap, this card's good. Then we only play 1 Skyplace Garantia, whatever. People will most likely play 2 of these, but I don't really see it as good and/or as necessary because of the fact that we have a Heavy Freight Train Durricane, which pretty much does the exact same thing as this card, which is you detach 1 XE material and then target 1 of your card your opponent controls, destroy the target. If you do inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent, you can only use it once per turn, and they cannot. And this card cannot attack the turn you activate this effect. Now, you pretty much get 2 pops and a 2 pops for the price of 1 if you detach this, and they get burnt for 1,000 damage. So that's really damn good. But that's only really if you're in a tight spot and you have nothing else to do. Then we play, first we play number 84 Pain Gainer, number 84 Pain Gainer, and number 35 Ravenous Tarantula. I just put these cards in. I don't know how good they are, but let's go over their effects. All monsters you control gain attack and defense equal to the difference between both players' life points. While this card has an exit material, each time your opponent special summons a monster, inflict 600 damage to your opponent. Wow, it's like Red Eyes Reflect Dragon. Once per turn, you can detach 1 XE material from this card, destroy all monsters your opponent controls with less attack, or less than or equal to this card's attack. So, obviously you'll be able to burn your opponent really hard in this deck. So, and this card also burns. So, I guess I could see it being really good. I'd only really use it as in like having a Metal Reflect as in a Red Eyes Metal Reflect Flare Dragon. So like, if they're like very low life, just bring out one of these and can't do anything. Then we have number 84 Pain Gainer, 2 level 11 monsters. Well, hardcore casual game here. What are you talking about? This is only this guy is 11. Nah, man. You can use your Dark Exceeds monster you control, or rank 10, which is obviously going to be this dude. And then this card gains attack and total ranks. While this card has X material, your opponent activates Spell Trap. Ooh, so it burns your opponent every time they activate a spell or a trap card. And then you can detach a card. You can detach one XE material from this card. Destroy all monsters your opponent controls with defense less than or equal to this card's. I'm gonna say that this card's way better. Just saying. Then we play number C9 Chaos Dyson Sphere. 3 level 10 monsters. Again, very easy to do in this deck. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you can attach that monster to this card as a face-up X material. Oh wow, sounds like infinity. Once per turn, you can inflict 300 damage to for your opponent for each XE material attached to this card. If this card has number 9 Dyson Sphere as effect, you never do, but you can do more damage. Pay 8. Then we play one of the best cards that says that you need 3 level 10s. And as once per turn, you can detach one XP material from this card. Destroy all spell and trap cards your opponent controls. Your opponent cannot activate spell and traps in response to this card's activation. That's really good, but that's not the only good thing about this card. The best thing about this card is the 5k beater. Holy crap. 5,000. You know, that seems like some despot shit right there. So, then we're on to the last cards is number F0 Utopic Future. If you pretty much go for this, either if you cannot tribute summon, or you just have like, you know, two Exceeds, two cards, rank 10s that have no Exceed materials. You can just overlay for one of these dudes and just like not care. And then we have to play the two Cyber End Dragons for Cyber Malefic Dragon. Yeah, it takes up extra deck space, but it's still really good. And the extra deck is not tight in this deck whatsoever. So that's about it. This is Hardcore Casual Gaming signing out.